Hi, it's the Silly Moustache here, and this is a Sunday morning, so this is a Sunday morning prattle. The other day, I stumbled on a YouTube video by J.P. Cormier called The Truth About Guitar Lessons. Well, I thought I'd better watch that. I put the link to his video down below, by the way. He was naturally promoting his own online guitar website, but he was also questioning how people tend to be taught and why so many give up. He asked a few questions on his Facebook page, like why do people take lessons in the first place, how do they decide who to go to, or what form of lessons did they use, online, books, face-to-face, etc., and why did they quit? Well, the first is obvious, they take lessons because they want to learn. The second, how did they choose to get those lessons, is largely about access and circumstances. If you live in a big city, there's probably 3 or 4 guitar teachers within relatively easy reach. If you live in the sticks, it's not going to be the same. If you're in lockdown, it's Zoom and similar things like that, which actually I have found even more helpful than face-to-face, because the nerve thing isn't there. So you choose a local guy if it's available. You go via YouTube, which might be cheaper, and there's via some online offerings a website like JP's, for instance, or how-to books. How to play like your guitar hero and all that sort of thing, DVDs, CDs, etc. In my day, there were 2 options. There were books and there were one-to-ones. I never finished a book, and I never learnt much from teachers, frankly. The major reason, though, he discovered, was cost. Apparently, many demand payment in advance for a specific number of sessions. The second reason was frustration. It seems from JP's survey that many teachers tended to teach stuff that the students didn't want to know, like music theory. Apparently some teach notation first, certainly piano teachers do. I know that many teach with tablature. I used to go to a British bluegrass school, an annual thing called Sore Fingers. And I studied with some great American musicians, but everyone I studied with showed us something and then handed out sheets of tablature. I enjoyed the jams, I enjoyed the fellowship and the beer and meeting some heroes, but I learnt nothing. I stopped going. Teaching music theory comes up when it is necessary. Music theory is only useful when it is necessary. JP mentions sight reading notation. You're probably never going to need that. He's quite right about that. But knowing how to do certain things and what chords will and won't go with other chords and things is not so difficult to understand. But only when you need it. He says teaching guitar is about learning to play. Yes, it is. And it's learning to play what you want to play and how you want to play. So learning to play via tadpoles on 5 telegraph lines, notation, or numbers on 6 telegraph pole lines is tablature. And to me, it's a bit like learning ancient Latin in order to speak French. In fact, both of them teach you to follow someone's instructions without really knowing why, and to put them together. It doesn't work for me, and I don't know whether it'll work for you. JP said that playing music is emotional and muscle memory, and not mimicking someone else's arrangements without expression. Maybe I said that last bit. He also said that online offerings tend to be systematic. You know, they're a kind of syllabus, and not all parts are going to be relevant to you. So if you paid for 20 lessons or something like that, you know, maybe half of them, maybe a quarter of them, might be totally irrelevant to where you want to go with your guitar playing. So this made me think about how I teach, and I thought it might be useful to share my method, if there is one, and style. So here it is. Firstly, let's get cost out of the way. I ask for $50 US or $35 UK per session. Session, not an hour. Some are longer and some are shorter, but an hour is usually about enough to take in information. Note, there is often a lot of preparation, up to an hour of preparation for me before the session, and often considerable time compiling and sending information to you afterwards. So it can be a 3-hour thing for me. I ask for payment to be made via PayPal immediately after the session. You have no advance commitment. You don't have to order a number of sessions or anything like that. You can have one session. You can have no one wants 100 sessions. But I do request payment if there's a late cancellation. Through no fault of anybody else's, I've had a couple of situations where someone has had to cancel 5-10 minutes before the session, and I'm all set up and ready to go, and I've cancelled other things for that session. And so it would seem only fair that you make a financial contribution to help me provide shoes for the children. What else did I want to say? There are no extra charges for any notes or song sheets or any information that I send you by email before, during or after. Well, it won't be during because I'm not that clever. So how and what do I teach? Let's just do the don'ts. I don't teach jazz. I'm not clever enough. I certainly don't teach notation or tablature, and I don't teach classical for the same reason I don't teach jazz. I don't tell you that stuff is easy. That's diminishing. Nothing is easy until it's easy for you. I don't force you to do anything you don't want, and I don't sell you products. So what do I do? What do I find myself teaching? Many need information on technique, left and right techniques. Right. It's often about making your accompaniment musical and relevant to the piece. Posture, hand, back, shoulder issues often arise much more than you would imagine, and through personal experience I've found that slight adjustments can help considerably. Learning how to learn songs. Yeah, really. I can teach you songs, but it's best if I teach you songs that give you a method to learn other songs. And then learning how to apply what you've learnt from that song to other songs. And learning how to tell the story. I'm big on that. I have mentioned in previous videos about people who sing a song that has a definite message and feel, but the way it's delivered is inappropriate. So I like to be able to help on that. Singing, voice craft. Yeah, I can help with that. I've had to learn to sing 3 times, and so I've picked up a little bit along the way. Stagecraft, and this comes closely with the next one, coping with nerves and confidence and breathing and stuff like that. I can help with that. I've put basic theory down on this list, and it is basic, but it is theory. It's not about notation, it's not about tablature, but sometimes it becomes appropriate to give you a little advice. And there's 3 or 4 things that I have learned that I've found were revelations and made other things so much easier, like soloing and stuff like that. And of course, when I mention basic theory, you see where it is down on that list. I also want to say that I do welcome questions. When I'm talking about something and a student says, a client says, can I ask a question? I love it, because that means you're involved and you're thinking about what we are discussing at that time. So never feel shy about asking questions, stopping me to ask a question. And of course, it's anything else you want to know. It's your dime, you dictate the direction. Okay? So, you know me from watching my YouTube videos. If you think I could help you, if it's just an hour-ish, or whether it's, you know, an extendable or diminishable amount of sessions, then I probably can help you. So, if you think this sounds useful, give me a try. So my contact details are going to be in the little detail box underneath this video. So if you have been, as always, thanks for watching. Bye.